Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Hallie. I manage our summer camp programs here at Shedd Aquarium, and today I'm behind the scenes in our sea otter habitat to share with you a sneak peek of what you would see if you participated in our new virtual summer camp program. So it's called Summer Splash Camp Stay Home Edition. We have sessions for kindergarten through second grade and for third through fifth graders. And every day they explore different animals and different habitats around the world and all their amazing adaptations. It's a virtual camp, so it's a little bit different. Every session is 3 hours long. Each session is packed with tons of animal activities, including games and investigations, crafts, lots of movement. It's very interactive, and of course, the campers have a lot of time with the animals here at Shedd Aquarium, both in front of the scenes and where we are here behind the scenes. Not only do they get a chance to meet those animals, but they also have a chance to meet their caretakers. And so what you're going to see today is a little snippet of what our third through fifth graders would do on Kelp Forest Day. And if you're familiar with kelp forests, you probably know that sea otters are the stars of that habitat. So I'm going to hand it over to our animal care specialist, Corinne. If you have any questions about summer camp or about sea otters, go ahead and drop those into the chat because we're going to have a time for Q&A at the end of this Facebook Live. So I'm going to hand it over to Corinne to share a little bit about our sea otters.
All right, hi everybody. Like Callie mentioned, my name is Corinne and I'm one of the animal care specialists here at Shedd Aquarium. So we're in one of our behind-the-scenes sea otter habitats right now, and this is going to be a great example of what those campers would be seeing on the day that they would learn about kelp forests and the animals that live there. So here at Shedd we have 6 sea otters, and in this habitat behind me there are 4 of them. So we have Yaku. Yaku is a 20-year-old male northern sea otter. He is our largest and oldest otter. We have Ellie. Ellie is a 5-year-old female southern sea otter. And then we also have Cooper and Watson, and they are both in this habitat as well. They are both 1-year-old male southern sea otters. So what you're seeing right now is a formal training session. So we have the ability to get our otters their diets in a variety of ways. And a training session is one of those ways. Training is a really important of the sea otters, part of the sea otters' day, because it allows them to get physical exercise, mental stimulation, and it also provides us the opportunity to practice their husbandry behaviors, or the behaviors in which they can participate in their own health care. So you can see some of our otters right now. They're each getting individual attention from their animal care specialists, practicing some of those behaviors. So some of them are doing those high energetic fun behaviors. Some of them are working on new training that they haven't learned yet. And some of them are practicing those healthcare behaviors. So if you watch those otters in the water, you might notice that a sea otter rarely stops moving. They tend to move a lot, they flip around, and this is a really good tactic for them to be able to stay warm in the chilly waters of the kelp forest. Sea otters have a very fast metabolism, and in order to maintain that, they have to eat a lot of food. A sea otter will eat up to 25% of their body weight every single day. So that would be like a 100-pound person eating 100 cheeseburgers every day. That's a lot of food. Living in the kelp forest, they have a wide variety of foods in their diet. Here at the aquarium, we feed our otters shrimp, 2 types of fish. We give them capelin and pollock. They also get squid, and they also get clam. One way they would get food out in their natural habitat would be by using a technique called foraging. So foraging is when they would swim around their environment, they would use their paws to gather as much food as possible, and then before they would bring it up to the surface to eat. Fun fact about sea otters, they actually have a flap of skin in their armpit called a pocket. So as they're foraging in the habitat, they can store food in that pocket and then bring it up to the surface, float on their backs, and then they can have it all sit out nicely on their tummies like a little seafood buffet. So here at the aquarium, we do like to encourage this foraging behavior. So I mentioned that this is a formal training session, but another way we can get the otters their food is by scattering it around their habitat. So we can scatter it in the pools, We can hide it in their toys, we can hide it in ice piles, we can even stick it to the walls. So this is a really fun way for us to give them the opportunity to use those foraging behaviors, and it kind of creates a little fun puzzle or scavenger hunt for them. So this is another good example of what the campers might be seeing if they were here on our Kelp Forest Day.
Thank you so much, Corinne. So for those of you just joining us, this is Hallie. I manage our summer camp programs here at Shedd Aquarium, and today we are getting a sneak peek at what you would see if you participated in our 3rd through 5th grade afternoon program, where we learn about a different habitat every day. And this is where we learn about kelp forests. So you all can see that we're behind the scenes here with the animals. Our summer camp has a ton of animal interaction, animals behind the scenes, animals in front of the scenes, and of course the animal caretakers. So if you have a kid in your life who loves animals, this summer camp is a really great way for them to dive a little bit deeper with Shedd Aquarium. I mentioned earlier that each session is about 3 hours long, and it's designed to be fully engaging for campers. So they are with us the whole time, doing animal investigations and activities, crafts, playing games, and having up-close encounters like these. Our camp has been very popular, so we've actually added 2 weeks in August, so you still have a chance to participate. Again, if you or someone in your life loves animals, this would be a really great opportunity for them to have some time to hang out with some other kids who love animals as well and get to know Shedd Aquarium's animals and habitats a little bit better. So I'm going to hand it back over to Corinne, who is our sea otter expert, so she can share a little bit more of what you would see if you were one of our summer campers.
All right, everyone, so we talked a little bit about how sea otters live in kelp forests and how they eat a lot of food during the day. But the fact that they eat so much food is actually really important to the success of a kelp forest. Sea kelp is an underwater algae that can grow from the bottom of the ocean floor all the way up to the surface. And if it grows densely, it can create an underwater forest that is a thriving ecosystem for a lot of species. Now, there is one species that actually eats the sea kelp itself, and that is a sea urchin. Sea urchins move slowly, but if there are a lot of them, they can make quite a large damage to the kelp forest ecosystem and habitat which so many animals live in. Luckily for the kelp forest, there is a species that eats sea urchins, and that is the sea otter, like you guys are seeing right now. Sea otters play a vital role in the success of kelp forests. Because they eat those sea urchins, they are called a keystone species. Now, I mentioned what our animals get, or sea otters get for their diet during the day, but when it's not time to eat their diet, they get a lot of treats and snacks. So what you guys might be seeing right now is we gave our otters some sea urchins. Sea urchins and shellfish are a little bit more challenging to eat than their regular diet because they have a harder shell on them. So they're a little bit harder to eat. So you may have noticed that our otters here at the aquarium have excellent deck space to be able to bang those urchins and shellfish on in order to crack them open. But otters out in the wild, they use a slightly different tool. An otter has the ability to spend its entire life. What they can actually do is they can store a rock in their pocket. They can put that rock on their chest. They can take the shellfish and their lifespan would be about 10 to 15 years. Yaku is our oldest otter here at the aquarium, and he is 20 years old. They are being given all of the food they could ask for and kind of an ideal habitat for them here, so they can live a little bit longer due to that. But about 10 to 15 years old would be the life expectancy out in the wild.
Thank you. And what's the difference between sea otters and river otters?
The question was, what's the difference between sea otters and river otters? So size is one big difference. A sea otter is a little bit bigger than a river otter. River otters use the land and water kind of interchangeably, whereas a sea otter can spend their entire life just in the water itself. They don't ever need to come on land. They also occupy different waters, so our sea otters would live in the oceans, and our river otters would live more inland than the sea otters would.
So I'm seeing a question here to see if we offer adult camps, which is a really great question because this summer camp is a lot of fun. Currently, we do not, but definitely check out Shed's website. There are a lot of opportunities for you to connect to our animals. And again, if you do have a summer camper joining us, we won't stop you from peeking over their shoulder when they have a chance to see these animals behind the scenes. So again, those of you joining us, we're giving you a sneak peek of our Shed Aquarium's new Summer Splash Camp Stay Home Edition. It is a virtual summer camp experience. It's been very popular, so we've actually added 2 weeks in August, and so we wanted to give everybody a chance to get a little sneak peek at what it's all about. And so, of course, each day of camp is very interactive. It's about 3 hours of animal activities, investigations, crafts, games, lots and lots of movement, and lots of interaction between campers as well. So we know that's something that kids who love animals love talking with other kids who love animals, and they will definitely have a chance to do that in this summer camp experience. So like I said, we have a couple new weeks open in August that you can participate in. And you can learn more about the camp or register by finding the link in the description or in the chat. And of course, we're happy to answer any questions that you might have about camp itself, if you might want to share those with us. And of course, this camp goes to support Shed's ongoing animal care, our research, and our conservation efforts. And so not only is it a chance for our kiddos to learn about these animals, but you also support the work that Shed is doing even now. So thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate that you came here to check out what it would be like if you were one of our summer campers in our Summer Splash Camp Stay Home Edition here at Shed Aquarium. So we're going to say thank you so much to Corinne, our animal expert, who shared all those great pieces of information about our sea otters, and we hope to see you all soon.